We are live right now. Let me fix my mic as you guys talk.
What's going on, Anthony?
What's going on, Cass? What's going on, Dave?
Hey guys. Oh, I can hear you now. Perfect.
Yeah, I just reset my phone before I jumped in to see if it would help. I can hear you, Dave. Jude, you sound a little quiet.
How about me?
You sound just a little quiet.
You're good right now.
All right, cool. Oh, so everyone, man, what's going on? We got 3 people starting to watch. I just got some big news today. Anthony just shared that we reached 700 subscribers, which is very cool. And today, Chef Scott Shade, what is his name? Chef
Scott.
Yeah, Chef Shade Tree, Scott Dungeon. That used to be his name. He shared that he became, which I don't know why it took him so long to become. 999 people subscribed. You waited that long, but he became our 1,000th follower on Instagram. So we hit 1,000. So that's pretty cool. Pretty big.
I thought he followed us the whole time. Oh wow!
I actually thought so too.
Yeah. And I sent him the link to the our Instagram page.
Right on. That's pretty cool.
We need to talk with Ken now.
Oh yes, I don't. Dave, Cass, I know you don't. Dave, are you familiar with East Coast Ken? He used to be Eleanor Rides.
I'm familiar with Eleanor Rides, but I don't know him personally.
Yeah, that his channel. He decided that he wanted to start over, and he started a more mechanical channel. Like doing
he's going more with the moto stuff.
And his channel is called East Coast Ken. He on Edio Tech Guy's live stream, he pledged that if he got his new channel to 100 subs, and he was already like at 90, and Tech Talking Shop to 700 subs on a live stream for Tech Talking Shop, he'll let his kids throw whipped cream pie in his face.
And then what's the other one? Isn't it Raging Cajun? If Tech Talking Shop hits 1,000 before the end of the year?
Yeah, these are some big supporters. Like they always talk about us on their own personal videos. They talk about us on live streams. They're big guys. They're really cool guys.
I don't know Raging Cajun personally. Is he an over-the-road driver?
Yes, he is.
So he always stops to get on the streams?
Yeah, or he just turns on his red light and drives and listens.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
What's up, Raging? Hello, Bill Beckett. How are you?
Bill. Raging Cajun's in here.
Oh, look at this guy right here. I barely had to see my daddy's sexy face. Oh, what's up, Tarek?
Wyatt Rat, I got that notification the other day. That's all the college ball, correct?
Yep. Oh, Doug Schmidt, what's up, man? How you doing? You got my message today. That's cool. Bill Beckett saying hello to people.
What's up,
Chris Hodges.
Yeah, I got to look over to the speed rip one. I didn't realize I was on the wrong one. Oops.
Good evening, Bill. JWC Tech, what's happening? Dude? How are you? Dave, I'm not sure if you're familiar with JWC. He used to use his wife's account. He was Summer Couch, and then he switched and he made his own account on YouTube. He sells, he buys and sells tools. And he also collects as well, but he's a tool guy.
It was Summer Couch?
Yeah, it used to be his. I guess that's his wife's Instagram or YouTube channel.
Yeah, I would have remembered that.
AgTech 45.
What's up, Kelly? How are you?
Kelly, what's up?
Yeah, good to see you, man. Kelly's a former panelist on a Tech Talking Shop live stream. I think Dave, Kelly, myself, and Theo got together one Saturday morning. Small Town Machine Shop. What's happening?
Oh.
All right, now everybody will know who I am.
Oh, you switch back?
Yeah.
What's up, Adam?
Well, so I had it up from last night, so.
Go check the ball game real quick, even though I don't need it.
And anyone in the chat have any questions they want to ask the panelists or a topic they want to hit? If not, we can just start, single fire, and we can pick a topic and just go. Anybody has questions, that a vehicle they're struggling with, you've got a panel full of guys who could hopefully help out, and you got a chat full of guys, 16 people now. That's awesome. 16 people who can hopefully help out. I just got out of jail when I was using her phone. All right, cool. Yeah, the live started. You were on. Ken, East Coast Ken, he's gonna do a guest spot. He's got a who makes the Del Sol? Is that a Honda?
Yes.
All right, he's got a Honda Del Sol that he's been working on, and then he had some exhaust work done on it for him, where he paid for. What's up, Theo?
Theo,
how's everybody?
He paid for a complete exhaust, and when he was driving, and he hit something with his front tire, so he lifted up on the rack to check it out, and he saw that from the exhaust tip back was all used parts, and he was kind of hot. So he wants to do kind of like a story of what's been going on with that car, and talking about, when you have to find the right text, someone you can trust. Oh, dude, we're getting a full panel. That's awesome. What's up, Mike?
What's going on?
Group participation. That's what we want to see. That's awesome.
Agreed. Hey, long lost Theo.
How we're doing?
Oh, man, Mr. One video in a year calling Theo long lost, huh?
Fair enough.
Hey, no,
I'll
I'm
take
teasing.
that one.
I'm teasing. I'm teasing, dude.
I do, but I'll take it anyway.
Just on my way back from the shop, all right on. Kelly, he works for John Deere, right? Right, Dave?
Yep.
I believe so. Yeah, he's a field tech
Yeah, he's a John Deere field tech.
in the great country of Canada.
Yep, he's in the Great White North.
Too cold for me.
Now, everyone, I want to show you guys something you've seen in the past. I never sent it out. I did a video and I asked the question. It was a little contest, and I don't know if this guy's he's just the lucky guy. Scott Chef Shade Tree, he won, and I owe him a koozie. I'm gonna send him a Text Talk and Shop koozie if you guys can see that. Today we hit 1,000 subscribers. I've got 6 more, so I'll give a couple away today. Maybe Theo or Dave or Cass or someone can come up with Mike, Anthony, I don't care. Come up with the Text Talking Shop trivia question, and if someone answers it, and nothing hard, nothing crazy, just to see who's been watching any kind of videos, or maybe just asking people to name the members or something like that.
Here's a good one. We can see if anyone knows what GM85 actually means.
I'm typing in the private chat. You hear me? Don't say it out loud.
Who played second base for the New York Yankees in 1961?
Yeah, just so you know, Jude, the Astros are whooping my butt right now.
I don't know the answer to that one. It's
5-1, bottom of the 8th.
You got to get used to that. It's the Astros.
Hey. The Astros used to be a fodder team. You guys are just lucky.
So Kelly's asking, how did Dave afford that fancy Snap-on home box?
I used to work.
Yeah. That's cool, man. What year is that box, by the way?
I know what year it is.
Supposedly the guy that had it bought it new 30 years ago. So roughly
nice.
30 years ago.
All right, so we're talking 1999, early 90s?
90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s, somewhere in there probably.
I know when I started, that's the only kind of box you would ever need.
Is it a Snap-on box or is it a Blue Point?
Snap-on.
All right.
Is it I haven't watched the video. Is it just a single base stacker?
Yes.
So it's like pretty much the Snap-on version of my Craftsman.
Blue Point had
it's got do you got the little small panel on the top part that opens and closes, and it has the small drawers next to the little wider one?
No, not this one. My original box did, though. When I first started this whole thing.
Hey, congratulations, JWC. Clean for 2 years, September 11th, 2022, man. Keep
That's
it
a
going.
hard thing to do.
Keep it going, dude. And by the way, while we're talking about, we'll pray that you stay well and stay clean. A friend of the channel, man, big friend of the channel, not Raging Cajun. I'm sorry, Boo Luquette, Cajun Coin Hunter, aka Boo Luquette, as he likes to say it. He sent me. He had William Small Town Machine Shop get a hold of me today and say that he wasn't going to be able to be in the chat because he has. I think he thought he was going to be on my live stream on my channel, but that he wasn't going to be able to make it because he's at the ER. He's got really bad stomach pains, and they don't know what's wrong with him. So they're trying to take care of Boo. So let's all keep Boo in our thoughts.
Good luck, and prayers out that way. I know a lot about stomach issues and pain.
Amen. Me too.
Ian Lloyd, what's up, my dude? How you doing, man? Ian Lloyd's about 30 minutes for me. Hangs out in Pomona, California. Together, we're gonna grab a beer one of these nights. I'm gonna add another picture to my collage.
I need to make my way down south to hang out with you, Jude. Damn, you're only 6 hours away.
Only 6 hours
That's
away.
it, man. That's a quick Amtrak ride, man. You wouldn't even have
Oh, no, I'm waiting for the bullet train.
Where are you at, Anthony?
I'm up in NorCal.
Anthony.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm in the good part of California.
Is there a good part in California?
No, not really. Between me and Jude, where Jude lives and I live, it's all the same cost. There's all the stuff in between that's just, it's a little cheaper. And there's a lot of new politics coming around.
Here's a question from Small Town Machine Shop, to the panel and to the chat. He says, I have a question. I have a 2001 Ford E150, so he's got an Econoline, or like people like to tell me, Chicano-line. He's never had an auto tranny service. It's full of fluid, but is slow to engage and drive. The first few minutes of driving, should I have it flushed? I would say yes, absolutely, but just be careful that if it's a 21-year-old vehicle that's never been flushed, that fluid might be what's holding it together. So
yeah,
it could be gummed up too. There could be some good gunk in there holding it.
Yeah, but
I see it go both ways.
Yeah. How many miles are on it? I guess would be the first question I would ask.
Yeah, that's a good question. How many miles you had?
Also, are you the original owner?
I always ask that.
Right
That's
on,
my
Bill,
good
I appreciate that.
introductory question there. But
He's talking about his day of soul.
Oh yeah, okay. So actually, he hit the header, not the tire. But he said it had nothing to do with the back of the vehicle, and you could tell it was used and beat up. So that's kind of horrible. Hey, Larry Borgstrom's in the house.
Larry,
Glad you got my message.
Hello,
Glad you got my
Larry.
message today. He's a big supporter of the channels as well, man. He always watches my stuff. I'm sure he watches everyone's stuff. And
195, Adam. I would say you could try doing a filter and fluid exchange, and good luck. That's all I can say. A lot of times, what happens on transmissions is those clutches, as they wear out, that the clutch material gets suspended in the fluid, and whenever you change it, new fluid is more coarse and gritty than the original stuff, even with the clutch material in there. And what can happen is it'll go and wipe out the transmission a lot faster than just running it the way it is. You have the delayed shift whenever it's cold, probably would be my guess, whenever you're going from park to reverse. So that's just my 2 cents. I don't know what you guys think.
I don't think there is any moderators, right, Jude?
I'm going to add a couple right now.
I would agree with you, Cass. On the end of the day, he's more than likely looking at a new transmission.
That's probably the what's going to end up happening. That's why I said that fluid's probably the only thing holding that thing together. Yeah. So
right. Yeah, I'm with Cass.
Just keep driving the way it is and start saving your pennies.
Yep.
Or as I say, drive it till it pops.
Right. Yeah,
that's pretty much what I told my apprentice with that Ford Focus. I found more problems wrong with it, actually, after I did that valve cover.
Hey, I want to get some moderators on here. I just put East Coast Ken. If we want to get about 6 guys, why don't every one of you guys pick someone and let me know, and I'll put them, make them a moderator.
East Coast Ken.
Broken Dave, what's happening, dude?
What's up, man?
Make Dave a moderator.
Dave
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I nominate Bill Beckett.
All right, Bill Beckett.
I know Bill's cool. Who else is in here?
Princess Jamie.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Is there a way
Kelly.
for me to see the chat if I'm on my phone, guys?
You just have to press comments.
Comments.
I can see the chat on my phone, but I can barely see it.
Let's see
My
here.
eyes
Who's
are
in here?
for this.
Yeah, Princess Jamie for sure.
I think I got. We'll look at the Blue Ranchers now, but everyone like Ken's got his. Some of the guys that I know always talk about us in their videos, and I think I put everyone you guys said. I think I got Kelly too. Let me make sure.
Yeah, Raging Cajun, you can do him too.
Yep.
Yeah, I got Raging.
What about AgTech 45?
Take Schmitty.
Yeah,
Oh,
good old
Schmitty?
Doug.
Chris Hodges too, man.
Thank you, Larry. Pray for Cajun, man. That's awesome. All right, we'll see if they're coming up now. They should be coming up. If I forgot anybody, I'll put some in. Yeah, Ian's a good dude. All right, I'm good. I think I just got Ian. I think I'm good for the night. I just want to make sure. Check it out, man. 30 people watching. That's awesome. That's really cool.
That's 10 times as many as we had watching last night, dude.
That
If it wasn't for you and I and Raging Cajun, there'd be nobody watching.
Were you guys went live last night?
Yeah.
on our football channel. It was showing
What's the channel for the football stuff?
the one you got the link for, the Wide Right.
I didn't get a link for that. I got a notification from Cass about it on Instagram today. Same thing on Instagram, on YouTube then?
So is
Yeah.
Joey moving, Jude?
Huh? Oh no. I threw that in there because he's not in Roscoe's area, so I just wanted to make sure Roscoe doesn't get in trouble.
I'm gonna call Joe and tell him to move. That's where the work is.
Hey,
Man,
Princess,
come on, you're gonna be stressing them out if you tell them that.
Joey's only an hour away from me. I could go stress him out in person.
if Broken Dave says, Dave, I'm still rocking a Snap-on box from 1984. Rick Mears single bass stacker. Heck yeah, dude, that's awesome.
So
Rick
does it
Mears.
have is 1984? Is that Pennzoil number 4 Pennzoil Rick Mears or?
Penske.
Well, I know, but he was driving the Pennzoil car, wasn't he? Wasn't it a Pennzoil sponsored car?
I thought it was just Penske, Rick Mears for
Yeah, I mean,
IndyCar.
he drove for Penske, but I thought it was a Pennzoil because for a while he had Marlboro as the sponsor, and then it was Pennzoil.
Wow.
It's been so long, I don't remember.
I worked at Penske in the early 90s.
So did I.
At high school, and they used to send the drivers around. I got to meet Fittipaldi. We got him drunk as shit. Fittipaldi, yeah.
Very
That
cool.
was one of the job offers I turned down was Penske, actually.
It's not live.
Very cool.
Thank you, Larry.
That's Mike. It's Kentucky Tech, Ken.
That's what?
Kentucky
You
Tech.
won't be on
Mike.
camera.
He's
Bottom
here?
left.
If you are, I'll turn it a little bit.
No, that's Grease Monkey.
Greasy Monkey.
Greasy Monkey.
God damn it. I forgot. It's Greasy Monkey. There you go. I'm wrong.
Here I am.
Sorry,
There's
man. I apologize. I'm an idiot.
He's here. Where's he? I was looking at the chat. I'm like, whoa, I haven't seen him in a long time. Now there's our
I
name.
was looking at Ken, and I was like, I just had Kentucky on the brain. I'm sorry.
Well, there's our names, guys, right there. I'll be some Power Stroke Jude, Cass is Speed Ranch, Dave is One Mechanic, Anthony's Anthony GM85, Theo is Country Mile Garage, and Mike is Greasy Monkey. If anybody else comes on, we all have channels on
So
YouTube.
who's this PSJ guy?
PSJ. He's just some dumb dude.
I'm surprised you didn't go by your new name tonight, dude.
Oh, I had it on there, but I was just saying since it was a TTS thing, I put my real name. Hey, Scott, let us know. Like I said earlier, man, he was follower number 1,000. So tell you what, Scott, since I know you sent me your address on Instagram once, send it to me again. I will send this out to you. Since you were subscriber number 1,000, I'm not gonna send 2 out to you, but I'll let you pick the person in the chat, and whoever you pick, I'll send one out to as well.
Oh, you owe him a koozie, huh?
Yeah. M. Lizer, what's going on? How are you? Try to catch up to this chat.
Hello to anybody we missed.
Here you go, Jack Lacaze. I think it's the first time I'm mentioning him. What's up, Jack? Yeah, we'll pray for Cajun. He's a friend of Boo's. He's here because of Boo. Cajun sends a lot of people to our channel every live stream we ever have. He always tells people to go watch our videos. Hey, Sergio, what's happening, man? Sergio HVAC and Tools.
I got a koozie question. Do I have to put the koozie question in the private chat?
Yeah. Or yeah, just throw it out there. Go ahead. Put it out there.
I'm going to put it out there. Well, I already know the answer to this, and I think everybody else in the chat would agree with me. Who on the panel has the most organized toolbox? Don't let anybody say it out loud. Who on the panel has the most organized toolbox?
This isn't even a question. Right?
But whoever can answer that first correctly, because everybody in the panel knows who we're talking about.
Yeah, we all know who he is.
Who is he? I wouldn't know.
All right, we're gonna send it to Bocce.
Hey,
Ken don't get to say it. Bocce wins the koozie. Ken don't get shit. He's the moderator.
Damn sure ain't my toolbox.
Bocce, good job. Bocce was the correct answer.
Oh, did she nail it?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
I gave Theo. I've given Theo some flashback syndromes a few times.
I messaged Theo the other day. I was like, "Hey, so when do you want to come down and help me organize my box?"
No, I've been meaning to invest in organization for so long right now.
Ooh, am I that far behind on the chat? We're barely at 195,000 miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better limber up, Jude. Come on now.
Yeah, you guys go for it, man. I'm gonna catch up on the chat.
You know what?
Jude needs some Thursday night vitamin B.
You know, when Theo has all his ratchets in one position, it means that guy is OCD, and that's a good thing.
I can't help myself.
Everything has a place in a home, right, Theo?
The guy turns his ratchets off at night.
I showed that to the guys at work, and then I'm like, "Hey, don't forget to turn your ratchet off before you leave your shift." And they were like, "What do you mean? You got to turn it off?" He was like, "It's manual." I'm like, "Yeah, but you got to turn it off."
With that, Theo just do a video like this is what every new person in the shop should want everything to look like. Like Theo's box. Like if you keep it all neat and organized, everything in the shop would be awesome. I'm sure the rest of your shop is exactly like that.
I like to keep it straight. At least have a spot for it. Yeah, I can't help it.
Hey, Jude, how many LP90s do you have?
LP90s? I have 2 1/4 inch, 3 3/8 drives. I don't have a half inch. So
I got the half inch and I got the 3/8 with the flex head. Do you have those ones? You don't have the half inch head. What about the 3/8 flex head?
Yeah, I have the 3/8 flex head.
Okay, so the video that I sent you where I did that tap and jai job, I was using those to do a manual tap job.
Oh, nice.
I had issues with both of those wrenches, massively skipping teeth, trying to do it using a tap socket, doing it by hand.
Really?
Both of them. The half drive one was the worst. I thought I broke the tap.
Wow.
So I might be going back to snap-on wrenches maybe, or snap-on ratchets.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I just picked up 2 yesterday.
Yeah, I saw they were very pretty.
I picked up another one this week too. So.
Hey,
well, I think the ones you had, Theo, with the red, those are the 72 tooth, right?
No, those are older. Those are 30 teeth.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with those. I got a Craftsman that's like 34 teeth, and it still holds up.
Hey, Cass, Small Town Machine Shop says that he'd love to see a shop update at your shop.
That is on the plan for tomorrow. So when I get out there tomorrow, I'm gonna do it. So
Oh, I'm so behind on the chat. You commented right there. You guys go. 1992.
I'm about ready to join Theo with some apple juice.
That's very tasty. This
Very
comes
smooth
this
apple
out of
juice.
the fridge too. Look at that. Mm.
It does look like apple juice, though. Or as what we used to call beer as kids, man soda.
Hey, what's up, Pat? How you doing? Pat Paulson in the house.
Paulson, how you doing?
Another awesome.
Has anyone seen my burrito?
He's a big supporter of TTS, man. He's an awesome dude.
Somebody ask a question. Any questions? No questions or bad questions.
Yeah, no questions or bad questions. Let us know what you got.
You get 6 different answers.
Well, that's what you want. You don't want us all agreeing. I mean, like, come on, that makes it boring.
Archie.
Oh no! Today I had 2 engineers tell me my idea, and the other technician I was working with, we had the exact same idea. At 9 a.m., they said our idea was crap, but by 4 o'clock, it was okay because they went to paper and they said it was okay. And now it's a fine idea.
Hey, Bocce, just hit me up on Instagram, and I'll get Bocce one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, just send me a message with your address on Instagram or wherever you want me to send it to, and I'll get it out to you. And Chef, do the same. I know you've sent it out to me before, but just so I know I have it tonight, and those will be my most 2 recent messages, and I'll hit the post on this.
Ian, Lord, I hate blow molded cases. I throw most of them in the trash.
Anthony, you're like breaking my heart. Come on now.
I half and half, but you know what I've started doing, and it's dangerous. It's extremely dangerous. Has anybody seen Diabolical 58's box?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm starting to foam out, man, and those foam sets aren't cheap, so I got to be careful. I got to be careful as to how much foam stuff I get. If I start, I'm going to be like, oh, dude, I can't stop.
You're starting to shadow box your drawers.
Not tons of it, but I have some that I haven't used. I took it out, and I just use them, and I just have the shadow foam off its side. But I just put a few in recently that I kind of liked. I'm like, oh man, that looks good.
For me, the only foams that I kept was the stuff I got from JD Chico, which was the vessel screwdriver sets I bought. I really like the way they came. They're pretty small, compacted, and they fit really well. I got the Torx and the Comp Grip screwdriver set from him.
Nice.
I personally can't stand foam, but that's just me.
No, I mean, I think it takes up more space than it really leads on.
It has no flexibility.
Yeah, you have more flexibility with your little pin system or whatever it is you got, Theo.
Yeah, well, that's my biggest drawback with the foam. It's once it's set, and that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
So if you ever, let's say you got, and I'm not talking about now, but let's say 5 years from now or 10 years from now, and you can't replace that tool anymore, what are you gonna do with that foam? It's useless.
Yeah, it's gonna dry rot too.
I don't know.
So your add-on pieces won't be in the foam either.
Right.
That not imagine after a while it gets cuzzy too from all the chemicals you use.
Yep.
That is true, because like my hammers that I got are in foam, and they're in my box, and you beat up hammers, and when you just throw them back in, if you're not like Theo, who cleans everything before you put it back in right away, it starts to not look as good. But I don't know. I'm in
That's why I
between.
like my wooden hammer. I like my wooden hammers. They just absorb everything, and you can just replace the damn handle.
MD Lee 52, hello, welcome. I appreciate you being here. Same thing with you, Warner Richards. And Warner Richards said older ratchets with low teeth are bomb proof. Always.
I got a 1930s Bonnie ratchet that has 32 teeth for whatever the gear drive is. It still works.
That's because the teeth are so much bigger.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's the kind that's like the snap-on one where you punch the anvil out.
we've got 37 people in the chat right now, so it's a good time to let everyone know. Dave came out with a great idea. If you saw his short on TTS the other day, everybody in the chat, man, find Text Talking Shop on Instagram. Send us pictures of your box. Send us pictures of your home setup, your work setup, whatever you want, and we'll post it to our Instagram page, and we'll dedicate something. We got a couple already in, which is pretty cool. And if you have a YouTube channel, let us know, and we'll throw you on. We'll throw your YouTube channel a shout out. You know, we've got 700 followers now, or subscribers, and we just got another person jump on. This is not an official member of Text Talking Shop, but he did a lot for the channel when we started to grow recently. We went from about 500.
I think I know who this guy is.
To about 700 subs, and he did our intro, he did our about page, he did our video. You know, he made a collage video for us for our whatever you call that, your profile video. He did a whole ton. He's also done guest spots on the channel. I'm not going to say his catchphrase. I'll let him say it on 3, 2, 1.
Hey everybody, it's Ed the Old Tech Guy.
He's on mute.
I'm on mute. Thank you, Cass. Cass, you want to try that one more time?
Hey everybody, it's Ed the Old Tech Guy.
That's right. That's right.
Ed, what is on your head?
Yeah, what are you wearing, dude?
Did Honda come out with a new hat?
Chicago dogs?
That's right. Chicago Dogs.
Hey, Ed,
No
right
ketchup on hot dogs in Chicago, right?
It's a small junior baseball league here in Chicago.
Nice.
Hey, Ed, I know you've talked to us we've all chatted and you've heard the comments and stuff like that, but I want to personally thank you with the group here with me. And you did a lot when you did that about page. You did the video, you did the voiceover, you did the videos that you corrected some videos and put the descriptions in, you know, the videos that you thought would take off, and we really appreciate it, man. You helped us grow.
Oh man, no worries, man. No worries. You guys are all friends, and
Yeah, that Ed the Old Tech Guy, he's an all right guy.
Yeah, I think we all owe him a little bit of cash. He's going to send us all a bill. He's like, here's services rendered.
I just want to see you guys grow.
Ed and I we're in business together.
That's right. That's right. He's
Well, how's that working out for you, Cass? Did you get your payment yet?
The quarterly statements came in. They did not look good.
What small businesses have good quarterly statements in the beginning?
Mexico.
It's all about the end of the year that matters.
He is.
Mid-Atlantic Tools.
You never want to have them look too good, otherwise you got to pay a bunch of tax.
That'd be true.
Hey, has anybody put their hands on the Tecton folding ratchet?
No.
I thought about it, then I looked at it, I'm like, it's kind of a gimmick to me.
That small.
I already have a palm ratchet.
Yeah, the small one.
Turbo Titan is the only person I know that has one.
Oh, does he get one? We should have him do
Yeah,
a
he
video.
liked it, and other people slammed on his channel about it, how stupid it was.
You know, people, if people think something's stupid, all they have to do is not buy it themselves. They don't got to shit.
Just don't buy it.
Crap
Right.
on people.
Yeah, I got crapped on by the new guy that's been there 2 days. He's a Milwaukee guy. I'm also a Makita guy. He's like, oh, Makita. And I'm like this with my snap-on cordless ratchet. He's like, oh, crap on. I'm like, yeah, till you need to borrow it because there's no cordless ratchets in the shop but mine.
You know,
Yeah.
I have to tell you guys, I'm a bit jealous, right? Because I'm not a technician, a mechanic, and I like to dabble and play around with cars and stuff. And I have to tell you guys, I would love to see some more in-depth, deep knowledge on the channel. That has been. You can ask Jude. I've been bugging him. I'm like, bro, come on, man. You got professionals on there. I want to know how to diagnose a hub. I want to know how to diagnose, how to do a leak down test. I want to know how to do how you put smoke and find out if there's a vacuum leak.
The smoke test, Theo already done that.
That one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Cool,
that's
I missed
already
it.
on the channel.
Cool, I missed
Yeah.
it. Sorry.
So you did the smoke test. You did a real good job with it too.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's that kind of stuff that I want to see. I want to see that pro level stuff that'll make Chris Fix want to reach out to you guys and go, dang, that's
I like
what
the
I want.
reels too, Larry.
Because I'm like, man, dude, what I know there's stuff that these guys just know, like little secrets. There's little secrets that you guys know. Like I'll tell you, what is that sensor that adjusts the fuel ratio and oxygen ratio or something like that? I can't remember the name of the sensor. It's gonna drive me nuts. Which one?
O2 sensor or air fuel sensors, what a lot of the foreign cars call them.
I think it may be the air fuel sensor. It's this little sensor where if you just move it a little bit to the left,
Ratio sensor.
yeah, you move it a little bit to the left or to the right, and it's the adjusted calibration that you got to do a little bit.
He's talking about TPS. Throttle position sensor.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Or
I think you're right, Cass. I think you're right. It may be the TPS, but it's a sensor. I can't remember.
Is this on a Honda?
This is not on a Honda. This is on an American car, and
if you say it's on a Chrysler product,
we're
it's kicking you off the channel.
It's on the GM.
if it's a Chrysler product, it could be any damn thing.
It was
Chrysler product. Just shove it outside and say, "See you later."
Say for sale, best offer.
Part Italian, part German, part Japanese.
I remember people giving me crap for changing the sensor because they're like, why are you changing the sensor? I'm like, I already tore the whole car apart. I might as well change the sensor and put everything new, right? So I put the sensor on, and I come to find out that it's like, oh, that has to be calibrated. You can't just stick the sensor in there. And I'm like, crap. So I'm sitting there trying to play around.
So I got to have that fancy scan tool because you got to flash and reprogram.
All right, so Ed did what's called a blanket repair.
Yes. No, so it was. So the car was a Oldsmobile Aurora, and I needed to get to the.
This is the thing that had that damn North Star engine in it.
It has the North Star engine. It had the North Star engine because I junked it eventually, right? But it had the North Star engine in it, and inside, underneath everything is the dang starter, and I needed to replace the starter. So I'm like, I need to replace the head seals anyways, so I might as well take that apart. And by the time I'm that deep in there, I'm like, well, I might as well start replacing everything and make it all brand new and real nice.
Yeah. I remember a phone call with you, and I told you shove a borescope down the cylinder to look at it.
And then you went so far in, you ended up at the oil pan, Ed?
Pretty much, pretty much. I replaced.
Ed,
I made that engine brand new.
This is how you guys, that car. Oh, sorry.
Also, just so you know, these aren't just for looks; they're functioning too.
Oh,
Cheers.
Nice. What were you saying, Cass?
On that one, what you do is you remove the gas cap, you drive the car away, you pull up a new car, put the gas cap on.
I like that.
When I was done with that car, it was running so beautiful. People wanted to buy it off me. People loved it. You know what ended up happening is that the steering column had a problem. It had a malfunction where it became loose and it was broken. And when I went and got it diagnosed by a mechanic, I asked him, hey, I'll pay you for the diagnosis. Tell me what I need to do. And he's like, bro, you got to replace the steering column. But here's the challenge. They don't make it for that car anymore. You're going to have to go look at it in junkyards, and you're going to wish or hope that it's not messed up or that it will mess up in a year. So in my hunt for that steering column, I eventually just gave up and said, it's an unsafe car to drive. And I just junked it after I had done many years of work on it and kept up with it and made it really nice. I just sold it to the junkyard. I'm like,
did that one have a telescoping steering wheel on it? Like it would come out towards you?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, you can fix them. They're not unfixable.
Somebody told me that.
It's not cheap. It's not cheap. It'd be expensive, but I've worked on. I know Corvettes have the same thing. I've worked on those before because those old middle-aged guys, they'll pull themselves into their car with their steering wheel and they'll loosen it up. So I bet your steel oil was doing this when it was going up and down, side to side.
Yeah, that's one of the problems. And then when you would turn it a little bit, like turn it to the right or to the left, you'd hear clunk, 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 clunk.
Yeah, because
it was not the suspension at all. It was none of that.
Moderators, do your thing.
Oh, what happened there? What'd I miss? Some good stuff. Somebody acting up.
Yeah, just something that I'm not going to put it on the screen again, but
so
something that doesn't need to be shown.
Oh, So yeah. Anyways, at the end of the day, I gave up on the car. That and the other problem was it was rusting with major rust everywhere. American cars' major issue is rust. It's the only car I know that you better keep undercoating with oil or something on there because they rust so bad.
Well, it's good you had a North Star because it constantly leaks.
That's
From
true.
every orifice.
From every orifice.
North Stars are horrible.
Yeah.
Hey,
I had a coworker said, "Hey, can you work on my?" He had a Cadillac with a North Star. I told him, "Nope."
Hey, but that thing started no matter what. It would be 10 below zero, 20 below zero. I'd go start that thing up, boom, fired up every single time. It
Yeah.
never broke down like that.
Yeah, that's a
It broke down every other which way, huh?
It broke down.
Very reliable car. It starts all the time, but you get nowhere.
all right, Ed. So I have a car. I got a car joke for you. You remember
Okay.
the Yugo? You remember the Yugo?
Yes, I remember the Yugo.
You know why Yugos had a heated rear glass on them?
No.
Well, you can
So
keep
you
your
can
hands
so
warm
keep your
while you
hands
push.
warm while you're pushing it.
I've never actually seen a Yugo.
And those
You're not
things,
missing much.
the mismatch, head to block castings. Oh, dude, those things are horrible, man.
Yugos used to fit in most pickups glove boxes.
Yeah.
Was it like a little compressed little micro machine?
Pretty much.
It looked like a Volkswagen Golf,
Very true,
or not a
Larry.
Golf, a Rabbit.
Oh,
It was
the
about
Rabbit.
the
I know
size
what
of a
those are.
smart car.
That's right,
Yeah.
Princess Jamie.
Hey, I am going to say this. There's 40 people watching, right? There's 40 people watching. I only have 20 likes. That's half the likes. Guys, come on, man. You gotta support this channel. You got professional advice here. This is like not even a single person's channel. This is multiple people's channels, and they're all pros. For crying out loud, man, the information you get here is way better than you would get with Scotty Gilmer, buy a Toyota.
Well, no, Scotty, I think, makes money just saying Toyota.
While we're talking about likes and all that, everybody do me a favor, man. Go check out East Coast Ken. He dropped down to 99 subs. He's a good channel. He's a good guy. He supports all of us. He watches all of our stuff on here. He watches probably all of your stuff out there. And he's trying to build up his new channel. So go support East Coast
Yeah,
Ken.
he's showing you guys all the process on learning to weld and be a fabricator.
Yep. He's going to be great stuff on that. He's going to school. He finishes welding school.
I think he finished body shop, right?
He's taking fabrication classes. Yes. Body shop and stuff. Yeah.
Hey, so from a novice to you guys, I'll ask you guys a serious question. What is going on in the mechanics industry or technicians industry? Because some people don't like being called a mechanic, right? Technician, mechanic. What is
I
going
want to be
on?
called a diagnostician, please.
What is going on when it comes to hiring people, manpower? There's some weird stuff going on out here right now. You can't hire mechanics. You can't find mechanics. Nobody wants to become a mechanic. And it seems to me that that's an obvious choice for some people that don't do well in school and people that like to get their hands dirty or people that have that mechanical inclination of wanting to do stuff. So there's many people that could be pointed down this road. I know that one of them is pay. You're not paid sometimes what you deserve. The second thing I think is I think it's pretty hard work, right? It's not easy on your body. So, but what do you guys from your take?
How much time we got? We can go all night.
I mean, I got a lot to say on that alone right now, just based on how my company's restructured. We actually hired a kid that used to work in restaurants. That's his only job skill. He's a high school dropout, had zero mechanical skills. My old boss, who is now moving to Europe, took a chance on him and hired him. He got hired for the simple reason of showing up, doing the interview process and doing everything, and being willing to learn, and had a whole dialogue with him. And we are also a company that's willing to teach and educate. Now, it's very different because some jobs want you to have education or some skills.
And Anthony, it needs to
everything he's learned from all of us.
And Anthony, it needs to be said, or I want to make sure I say this so that nobody misunderstands my statement. Choosing the career of a mechanic does not mean that you your intelligence level is low or
No.
that
No, it does not.
any of that, because there are some very intelligent mechanics. There are very intelligent high school dropouts. I'm a network engineer today, and I'm a high school college dropout. So don't tell me that some certification or some degree dictates how smart you are. That's not true. Some people were smart enough to get out of the game and start their own business. So, yeah. So please don't misunderstand my statement. There's just some
Jesus.
there's some people that they're just not made for school, right? School does not fit them. So they decide, I'm good with my hands. Let me go into construction. Let me go into trades. Let me become a mechanic. So please don't misunderstand my statement. Go ahead,
No.
Theo. You raise your hand.
Oh, I've never been good with school, so
No, both of my kids, they didn't want to do college, and they both work in trades. One's a fabricator, and the other one is a union utility worker. One of them makes more than I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
So
I
what-
mean, there's
he's only
a lot
20
of
years
things that go
old.
into it. So the last 20, 25 years, you had, high schools, cut their vocational programs for whatever reason, and then you have administrations come in and they want all kids to go to college. They want everybody to go to college. They don't ever bring up anything about the trades. They want everybody to go to college. So
well, you know why,
then
right?
you have this gap. Well, yeah, because they want to get them hooked on these student loans. So
Right.
then you have, and then I point to a single event in 2008 when we had, the cash for clunkers. I mean, it almost ran the place I worked at out of business because there was nothing to do. You're working on the biggest piles of junk out there. So nobody wanted to work on cars. So you have a lull right now in the industry where guys aren't coming in. And you have a few and far between, but I mean, you got 88,000 mechanics for 340 million people.
Right.
Out of 340 million people, 80% of the population has at least one car. So
Yeah, but
you're
it's
just talking about a large lull.
it's in every industry that is like that. Welding is no different. Mechanicing is no different. Construction is no different. It's in any industry where you have to work with your hands and sweat a little bit. I mean, they're all hurting for people.
Yeah, I mean the whole deal is the pay is not low. I mean, I make good money. I'm not over here wishing I was a doctor or anything like that. The hell with that. I like what I do. I like the freedoms within my job. I like being able to accomplish things. I like being able to go fix stuff that engineers made because they made it and I get to repair it. So that's a good little chip on my shoulder I get to walk around with. But I get paid well for it. I'm not disappointed with what I make. It's expensive to get into. It's not a cheap trade to get into, but it's just like anything else. I mean, being a lawyer is not cheap. Being a doctor is not cheap. Being a nurse isn't cheap. If you want to get into a cheap industry, go teach school. You know what I mean? Because all you need is a degree, and the school issues you everything else and tells you what to tell the kids. That's cheap. But there's a level of risk too in this, and you're going to wear out. But I don't regret ever. I have no regrets with the path I've taken in life. I don't wish I did something different. I don't wish I was an electrician. I don't wish I was a freaking astronaut. I love exactly what I do. So, that's my thing.
I wish I was a millionaire, but
What's
other than
that?
that, yeah, I got to agree with you. Said I wish I was a millionaire, but other than that, I got to agree with you.
You would
No,
spend it all on
that was-
tools
that was-
anyway.
That was well said. That was very well said.
Right.
When I was first getting out there in my electronics career, the first job that I had needed for me to buy at that time, it was a lot of money. I needed to buy $1,000 worth of tools, and thank God for Sears. And I had a family member and another person lend me the money, but I had to pay them interest in over $200 to $300 back. It was the agreement. So they lent me the money, but I had to pay them back the money plus $200 to $300 back. So I took a risk, and I went and I spent all that money on Craftsman tools to do my job. I didn't even know what I was buying at the time. I didn't know much about anything. I had a list, and they said buy everything else you need after that list, and I was like, what does that mean? I haven't worked here before. I've never done this before. And,
yeah, but the good thing, Ed, with that is it gave you motivation to go out and work your butt off because you had something to do. But when you look at it, $1,000 really wasn't a whole lot compared to what kids are on the hook for. I just got done putting a kid through college. I can tell you exactly what it cost. And he chose that path. I didn't go like, hey, you need to go to college. I said you can do whatever you want, but you're just going to be educated past high school. If you go to trade school, that's fine. If you're going to go work on typewriters, cool. You're just going to go and train and become the best typewriter repairman you can be. I don't want to, I just don't want you to sit around just being lazy all the time. So, he chose to go to school. My daughter, if she chooses to go to trade school, I'll be behind her 100%. I'm good with like getting a higher level of education. Robert works with me, and Robert, he's never been to trade school before, but he's been working on cars since he was about 10 years old. So, he's got a lot of on-the-job training. He's pretty good. And you don't have to go to trade school to be a great technician. It helps, but it's not an end-all, be-all. It's one of those things. But, like I was saying, though, he got that skin in the game, so he was motivated to be successful. I'll say that.
Yeah. So Pat CB there says I should have opened a single credit card, and I could have if I wasn't so young with no credit. That's the difference, right? That's one of the things you have to think about. And I think about these new mechanics coming in. I've got my nephew that went to Toyota College, right? That's what I call it, the mechanic school at Toyota, where they teach you how to work on Toyota cars. And he's now a technician for a Toyota dealership because he chose that. After talking about college and everything, he's like, you know what, man? I don't like school. I'm not built for it. I don't like it. The kid is sharp as a whip. I told him what your goal should be is if you're going to work on cars is become a diagnostic guy with looking at the computer and being able to, kind of like what South Main Auto does, become that guy and you'll become a specialist.
Ball joints?
I'm sorry?
I said ball joints?
Ball joints. And he's doing really well for himself. But I noticed what he had to buy. And I mean, even though they give him a discount at that school because Snap-on shows up there and Mac shows up there, and they say, 30% off, 50% off for students, he still spent probably about $3,000 on tools. I mean, easy. And I'm like, whoa, dude.
That's not hard to do on a tool truck.
Not at all.
No, but starting out, I wouldn't spend it on the tool truck, though.
No.
Not at this day of age.
No, I mean, you could hit stores or hit Amazon and do just as well.
Yeah. That leads to Dave's video. Show us your home setup. And in my case, I'm gonna show you what I started out with. I'll show you the tools I started working on the cars with. So yeah, I'll do a video on it. I'll show everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I started out with task force, and Napa sockets, stuff like that.
Yeah, I had quality Chinese.
Does the chrome peel a little bit on some of them? Sure, but you know what? It's still a socket and still works. So.
Yeah.
But that leads me back to my question. Is this one of the reasons that many people are not coming into becoming a mechanic? Are they being misled?
Because everybody wants to go get a job where they don't have to do shit all day. They just get to sit on their ass and collect.
Yeah, everybody wants to become an engineer.
Yeah, everyone wants to be an engineer, Ed. Come on.
It's not hard to become an engineer these days. Anybody could do it. That's the joke, right? Anybody can
even
do it.
Ed can do it.
Even Ed can do it. That's the joke.
No, I mean, I think there's a certain level of like people that are just too soft to go out and get a job that requires working with their hands. I mean, you see it all the time, and then these people come in and they want to work in the shop after they've struck out in life. They're 30 years old, and they want to come in and be a porter at the shop, and you're like, what the hell are you doing?
Hey, Cass, don't rip on those guys too hard. That may be me one day. I may be knocking on your shop saying,
"Hey." At my last job, we had a guy that was 39 years old. He's changing careers. He went from being a nurse to working in the shop. He literally sweeps and mops the floor and does like PM work. So I'm just saying, but he's motivated. I mean, he's like one of those guys that shows up and he's ready to work. So
yeah, so part of it, I think that we've said here is in school, they're not really pushing trades. They're pushing college. That's one. The second one is a lot of people don't want to work hard. They're looking for that easy meal ticket, which I don't know many jobs that are easy meal tickets. Like even some engineering jobs, I will tell you, sitting down for 14 hours and looking at a spreadsheet and designs and little lines and how you're connecting some chip or board or some network is not fun either. You want to go murder a cat at the end of the day.
Okay,
will
just throw on it being 114 degrees on top of that, and you'll know what it's like working with me. So
Obviously, nobody wants to work outside.
Where are you from, Cass?
I live in Central Texas. I live between
okay.
Austin and a town called Dripping Springs.
Oh yeah, it's a little toasty down there.
Yeah. But
Hey,
I'm from Michigan, where we freeze during the winter and boil during the summer.
yeah, I'll take the hot year round.
Yeah, I'd rather have that than the cold.
Yeah.
I've got to
What's up,
catch up with the chat, but I stopped because there was a decent question, or a good question actually. Warren Richards asked, finally got to a position where someone is under me, has good experience, but he came from somewhere where they provided all tools, so he shows up with limited tools. He says, at what point do you really push on buying it and not borrowing it anymore? We are given a small allowance, but $600 will only go so far. All right, go. I'm going to catch up with the chat. Dave, you're up.
You have to borrow 3 times. You need to go buy it, whatever it takes.
That's my rule.
Yep.
Agreed 100%.
Yep. I think that's across the board. I don't know of any shop that I've ever worked in that didn't have that rule. So
I've never had that luxury, so it's always been me, myself, and I. And I never could borrow tools or people borrowing my tools. Well, actually, when I had employees, they were borrowing my tools all the time. But
There's really no excuse to not have a tool with all the tool choices there are.
right.
Might not be the best tool, but if it gets you through for a while, there's really no excuse.
What's up, Occupant?
Right. I mean, that's what I was saying. The task force, I mean, that's cheap stuff. I mean, it does the job. And if you want to spend a little bit more money, then buy a better ratchet, buy cheap sockets.
Look, it's like anything else. Your first house you start off with isn't going to be the best house you ever own. Your first car is not going to be your greatest car you ever own. Your first set of tools aren't going to be the best tools that you own. And you shouldn't go and try to do that. It's just not going to happen. I mean, this is why you build. It's a build your way up type deal.
Well, but that's with everything in life. You got to work yourself up the ladder.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as like borrowing tools, I mean, it depends on what it is, and then how much this guy in the shop is making. Like, is he a full-fledged commission guy, or is he still hourly finding his way? Because you gotta kind of know who you're working with. Like I had a situation when I worked at Lloyd's, and we had a guy he was making almost the same money that I was, but he was borrowing tools all the time. And I go, no more. I go, you make almost the same money I do. Invest in your career or move on.
Right.
And I cut him off. And then I had like a mechanic's apprentice working under me, and he respected my tools. And he didn't make a whole lot of money. I had no problem with him using whatever was in my box as much as he wanted to. So it's just, I think it also goes with how they treat your stuff too.
There's always an exception to the rule, right?
Yep.
That is what I was going to get to. So in my electronics career and then my network telecommunications career, when I was working in fiber outside, actually installing equipment and splicing fiber and digging and all the stuff that we did, right? We use a lot of tools, tons of tools. So anybody that says Ed doesn't know how to use tools, blah, 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 you have no idea what I've done. But with that said, my rule was this: if I lend you a tool, I get it back at the end of the day the way you received it, clean. It better not be messed up. And if you mess it up and it's all messed up, you just bought it. You got to buy me one. You got to buy yourself one. That's rule number one. Rule number two was, most of the time I was in the middle of nowhere by myself. So if I didn't have the tool, I'd have to go run and buy it at Sears. Mm-hmm. There were no Harbor Freights back then. So it was Sears, or try to find some place that sold tools, right? Granger, something, anywhere that had it. That's the same thing all of our technicians were stuck in. All the electronic technicians, they were all having to find tools wherever they could. There's really no borrowing. So you got to buy your own stuff, man. I like your rule about 3 times and buy it.
Just to tap in real quick on what Jamie was saying there about the military, great education. There's a lot of companies that do that these days anyway. John Deere does that. Caterpillar does that. They do a lot of in-house schooling. So.
Yeah, Caterpillar has an engine plant that's kind of with about an hour away from here, and they have they'll go and they'll train you. They'll bring you in and train you from ground floor up. So
I had a $500 Fluke electric tester, and I lent it, and it got destroyed because somebody left it, and then in a big crack machine, they call it crack, so don't make fun of it, but it's a acronym for something, air conditioning unit, giant crack unit, and he left it at the bottom by the pan, and in the pan water collects, and it drowned my meter, my Fluke meter. And that's one of the times. This is the second Fluke meter like that's been destroyed in my lifetime. So that Fluke meter, I told the guy, hey, you're gonna have to buy me a new one. He's like, oh heck no, have the company do that. I'm like, the company did not buy my meter. That's my meter. I bought that. And he's like, no man, I'm not getting you another meter, man. That's not my fault. I told you where I left it. I'm like, I gave it to you in your hand. I expected it in my hand. I'm not expecting you to leave it at one of our locations and for me to end my day by picking it up there. That's not how you got it. So
what did you learn, Ed?
Never lend your tools. Never lend your tools.
Buy an El Cheapo one. So when you got a Yahoo coming to buy saying, I want to buy you a meter, then you give him the El Cheapo one and say, good luck.
Yeah, that's guys, I know you're not gonna like this, but that's why I like Harbor Freight. I love Harbor Freight. Ask me to borrow a tool. You're gonna get a Harbor Freight tool.
I have to say, I have a Harbor Freight meter, and that thing has served me well for years.
Well, I'm not letting my stuff leave the shop. I'm not loaning it to somebody to go do a job somewhere else. That's not happening.
Yeah, but like for Ed, when you're out in the field, I mean, you're never in the shop, right? So,
well, but you know what I mean? Like that tool's not leaving my area where I'm working. I mean, it's going to stay in the shop or on the job site. I wouldn't loan it to somebody to go do that. Ed, and the fact that you had somebody do that twice, Ed. First time's their fault. Second time is your fault.
No, the second time was a family member. So
it's even worse. Never loan anything to family. Never. Come on.
Yeah, that's where you got to go cheaper than Harbor Freight.
Man, dude, I have learned my lesson. Trust me. Like I have, like when they ask me to borrow tools now, I have the cheap old chemo that I got from Justin. I lend that out. I got some cheap Harbor Freight ratchets and sockets, and like, here you go do it. I ain't lending out any of my good stuff ever again.
Mid-Atlantic Tool says you can get online pricing on his tool truck. That surprises me. I mean, I've seen prices on, talking to tool independent guys, gear wrench trucks, and their prices seemed awfully expensive compared to online.
Mid-Atlantic, am I understanding you correctly? Can we buy from you directly, or you just saying that you're just selling direct to your route at that pricing?
I bet if you pay in cash, I bet he probably has online pricing. But if he's carrying the note, there's no way he's not charging something.
Well, I asked him if he would sell online, or he wouldn't do that. So. Now we'll pay cash or good as cash, Cardo.
Yeah. Yeah, Theo, you like to buy tools like I do, all up front.
Yep. Hell yeah, I wouldn't do it any other way. Absolutely not.
It's so much easier, isn't it? When you're like
well,
guys in the shop, I just don't get how guys in the shop carry balance. So
it is so much easier because on the end of the day, I don't like owing people. It's part of that. It's part of that freedom, Cass.
Did you see, Jude, what Schmitty said there? He said he could not handle an office job. Trust me, it is when I get jealous, and you guys probably don't believe me, but that is when I get jealous of mechanics and other field workers that some people say, Ed, you work from home, you got the life. Like, bro, you don't understand. It's just feeling like you've been arrested and they put that ankle bracelet, and you're stuck at home like in jail. What do they call that when you're in trouble? And
house arrest.
House arrest. I feel like I'm on house arrest because I'm like 14 hours straight in front of a computer can't move. Sometimes, heck, you can't even go pee. And it's insane. And then, the day ends, and really, where you're going to go? You're home.
Hey, Shell.
You start feeling very. When the pandemic happened, you know how people were feeling all caged up and stuff? I didn't.
They call that cabin fever.
Yeah, cabin fever. So I lived cabin fever. So for me, the pandemic was like every day. It didn't affect me like the cabin fever part.
We get that during the winter months when all of us are inside.
Yep.
So when spring comes around and the first nice day is there, we get all shut out the door.
Shit, looks like we're talking about borrowing other people's tools.
Bill Beckett, that's hilarious. He says instead of a sore back, Ed gets his butt hurt. No, I've got a bad back, bro, but that is funny.
Oh man,
I can't agree with you on that though, because I worked at I left the wrench for a little while and worked as a sales manager at an alarm company. What a nightmare! I was glad to go back to wrenching.
Bro, I'll tell you this: if I had the physique, my back was working pretty good again, and I could make the money that I make now as a mechanic, I'd do it. I would do it. To me, that seems so much fun. But see, that's it. Like many things, for some people, it's fun till it's your job, right? But it does seem cool. I do it on the side for side work, and I enjoy myself.
That's what crack stands for, right there.
The difference
it's
is
a job. It's a job, but I enjoy the challenge of what I do.
Oh yeah, thank you. Hey, thanks, Sergio. That's right. I couldn't remember what the acronym stood for. Thank you.
Hey, Sergio, you're an HVAC. My nephew, my godson's little brother, is going to school right now to be an HVAC tech. You got any tips for him? Let me know.
Bro, they make monster money. If you could get him from residential to business and get him on the networking side where he's working for like large telecommunications and network providers, where he's working on those big crack units, they make a mint. If you're in
HVAC is a fun topic because I just found out my job's going to offer for us to go to school for HVAC training.
Do it. You should do it.
So what does that job description describe? I work on cracks?
I told you. I knew the jokes were coming. I knew they were coming.
So Ed, when you're moving those units around, are you slinging crack?
Honestly, I was surprised Theo waited that long.
Oh.
There's more, but I better not.
They can only go downhill from here.
Yeah, very far.
I actually have a video about talking about like loaning tools. Not really loaning tools, but I was showing the tools that I have from Harbor Freight, and it's all stuff that I also have in my box, that I use every day, but it's usually a Snap-on or Cornwall Mac gear wrench or whatever. But the Harbor Freight stuff is just like I said. When someone wants to borrow a wrench, I give them the Pittsburgh wrenches, or I give them the Pittsburgh ratchets or something.
It's part of your. You could borrow this box.
Yeah.
You don't get the flank drive.
No, sir. Yeah.
So what do you guys are you all encouraging any young people to jump in the field? Do you guys have people that you're taking under your wing? I know GM85 tries to mentor quite a few people, but you guys try to mentor people?
I got cut off, unfortunately, for some family stuff, so I really apologize. I didn't get to fully say what I wanted to say.
No, we heard you. It's okay.
My godson, my nephew's older brother, when I was talking about, he wants to. He goes back and forth. He wants to be in the automotive repair field. Sometimes he wants to build drift cars. Sometimes he wants to just be a mechanic. And sometimes he just goes all over the place. But right now he's driving a tow truck, and he seems to be liking it. He's still buying tools, and he's, I just don't want him to become that tow truck driver cliche. I try to mentor him a little bit, but when the truck comes to the shop, everyone always kind of jokes about what the tow truck driver said, and I hope that he doesn't get that from where he's taking vehicles. But I try to mentor him a little bit, give him as much advice as I can, and like when I upgrade something, I give him, something better than what he had. So,
what's the cliche?
Basically that tow truck driver. Oh, if he can't make it as a mechanic, he's a tow truck driver. Stuff like that.
Okay.
But I don't believe that. Myself, I think, he's driving a tow truck. No big deal. That's what he's doing. He's providing for his family. I think any job that anybody does to provide for their family is honorable.
I don't care what you do. You can flip burgers.
Right. Honest dollar's an honest dollar.
That's right.
In my mind, though, once you have that mechanical, electrical, HVAC specific training, it teaches you the principles of troubleshooting, right? Keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method, and other methods that exist. Once you learn that troubleshooting, what I've told many people is I could pretty much teach you how to do anything in the computer field, in the networking field, in any of those technology fields, because once you understand that, it's all about digging and figuring it out. And I think that's why mechanic work and working on my own stuff has always interested me, because it all blends together.
I got a question for you then, Ed. Have you ever drilled out one of those little computer connectors and extracted it?
Computer connectors.
The ones that go into the little fobs that go like that with the two prongs, and you lock them down where the studs they lock into place, like on the back of a main drive.
I don't.
Or main computer.
I have
Nice,
I have drilled out screws from a motherboard to try to.
Yeah, I just drilled one out and took it out the other day.
Oh, did you?
It was the smallest extraction I've ever done in my life. I used a 16th drill bit for it.
And here's the difference, right?
Oh, you see, there is absolutely zero shame in driving a truck, man.
Absolutely.
My dude in here, Raging Cajun. Yep. I mean, him and his wife drive a tandem, so that truck's moving, 16 hours a day, and those two are killing it. I mean, they're absolutely killing it. They're home 3 weeks at a time, and they're on the road a lot. But they're together, so that's cool for them. And those guys are absolutely killing it. So no shame at all. My brother drives a truck. He's got a local route, and he's home every night, but he does well for himself.
Yeah. Support your truckers, man. That's how we get our goods.
Anthony, to your point, you should see what happens when you get one of these young guys that likes to sit behind the computer doing all the work, and something breaks down where he has to actually open something up and pull out some tools.
That's what I ran into the last 8 days, how engineers pass it to me.
Yeah, they don't know. They're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. And I run there and I just grab my tools, and they're like, Ed, how do you do that? I'm like, bro, because I started on this side. You need to start on this side and go to your side. You don't start on your side and then come over here.
My apprentice, but for me, I will speak to what Ed was saying about the trades, or like my trade's very specific, unfortunately. The kid that was hired, that's 23, he wants to stay with the company. He wants to learn. He wants to grow. He knows that he has an opportunity. He wants to go with me to the new building that we're going to try to open within the end of the year. So he doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to keep learning. So I'm going to express it, dude. Learn. That's all you can do. He's the only one that I've seen out of the 9 technicians that we've hired over the last 3 years that has invested in his job. So for me, that's a plus.
Well, I got a couple boys that are going to be mechanics or something like that anyway.
Well, your boys are going to be mechanics, Theo.
Or some, well, at least work with their hands and,
Yeah. I support anyone who does a trade. It's more necessary now, in my opinion.
I don't know how you don't think about the trades now when school is $300,000 a year. Or I'm exaggerating, but whatever, 300,000.
Well, it's unpaid. It's about $300,000 after all that interest adds up over you missing payments and stuff.
The person
It's
comes out of trade school.
$1,000 a month is what it costs. I just paid for it. It works out to about $1,000 a month by the time you
Dear
break it all
God.
down. So that's what it cost me. We could have bought a house over the last 4.5 years. So
Could you imagine? And my teachers kept getting mad at me because whenever I signed up for the class, my first day of the class, they have you introduce yourself. They tell us a little verb of yourself. And I'd always ask, okay, so this is me. I'm Ed. I'm going to school for this, blah, blah, blah. But what I want to know from this class is how I'm going to get a job and support myself and support all the things that I need and want. So I want that answer from this class. And some teachers just get really upset with me. Well, how are you going to get that from humanities? I'm like, exactly. Why am I taking humanities? I don't need humanities.
holy smokes! Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. We have a celebrity in the chat.
Oh, is that right?
Redline Gary.
Yeah.
Oh my
Redline
gosh!
Gary.
That's awesome, Sergio.
That's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Redline Gary, what's happening, man?
There he is.
I had speaking of what Ed was just
Got
saying.
another one. Nuts and bolts.
I can understand what you're saying, Ed. When I was in tech school, I had a number of different teachers. They had different methods. The one that I liked the best was the guy that says, disregard this
Thank you.
theory of using the gauges. Here's real-world testing. We need to get these cars in and out. And he showed me a real-world method on how to do stuff with like a drive shaft or something. And it's straight. It's true. And he even measured it to prove that he was right.
Oh, dumb question. Jude, did the team that I said win or lose? I forgot. What did I say? It was going to be Colorado?
Whatever it is, it ends up with you having a pie in the face, Ed.
No. It was going to be me doing a giveaway. It was me doing a giveaway on this channel.
Oh.
Yeah, they lost. You have to give something away.
Nobody kept a record of it, huh? Well, I was going to say, so we could do a giveaway. You reached 1,000 subs.
1,000 followers on Instagram.
Oh, 1,000 followers on.
And 700 subs on YouTube.
700 subs on YouTube. Oh, okay. What was the number we were going for? I'm sorry. What I forgot.
What's up, nuts and bolts with Tone?
700 for Ken to take a pie in the face.
700. Oh, got it.
Which one's the one that was going to take multiple pies in the face, dude?
Raging Cajun if we get to 1,000. Thanks for stopping by, Tone.
Thank you, Tone. Nice seeing you.
Hey, Brian. My boss is in the chat. Now I have to behave.
This is pretty cool, man. For us to have planned this and promoted it only since yesterday. We're 43. We've had 46. We've had 48 people watching. And so that's a really good turnout. Cass, that's now 4.5 times what we had yesterday.
When do you guys plan to go? Are you going to go live every week for the college stuff, Cass?
Yeah, we're gonna do 2 lives a week. We're gonna do one on Wednesday, one on Saturday. So.
All right, I'll try to tune in. I'll be at work on Saturday morning. I know. I don't watch much college ball, but you guys might turn me into a college ball fan.
Well, it's just something different from the normal. We just like to go and just, talk about that and have a little nonsense. It's a good break. So.
Yep.
But we found out that Joey is actually a college football expert. So.
No, he's a fan of anything that Jude's a fan. He's the opposite of whatever Jude's team is.
That is accurate.
That's what it is, right, Jude?
Yeah, pretty much.
Whoever the Trojans are playing, he's against, right? He's like, this team.
No, this is his 2 teams. So his favorite team is Arizona State, and his second favorite team is whoever's playing USC.
There you go. That's pretty much something. That pretty much sums it up in a nutshell.
Anybody got any car, tool, shop questions, anything? Ask.
How they build computers. Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get off here.
All right.
11:30 here in Ohio.
All right, Dave, man.
Westerner. Take care, bro.
Thank you for
Later,
jumping.
Dave. Nice talking to you, man.
It was great.
Hey,
man.
I'll see you.
Yeah, take care. Thank you, everybody in the chat.
Dave's got a great idea for us. Show us what you work with at home.
Yeah, we talked about that a little bit. Dave's our rock star, man. I've always said that since the get go.
He's always pushing forward.
You know,
Dave's got a great channel.
If he didn't make it, just I want to pass on my hellos to Tool Demos. Next time, brother, it would have been nice to have you up here.
He's probably watching. He's probably working.
Yeah,
now.
He's probably working. Yeah, I
probably.
like Tool Demos. His videos are so well accomplished.
Was he in the chat?
Are you talking about Tool Demos?
Yeah, Tool Demos.
Yeah,
Good.
Steve's awesome.
JWC Tech, you're right. Gary Sun's pictures were awesome. I know exactly what was on his mind. It was racing.
No.
Oh yeah, I saw all that. Yeah, we have some sprinters and some funny cars.
Were those the dirt track cars?
That was a winged sprint car. That is one of my favorite things to watch race. So.
The wing sprint car?
Oh, absolutely, dude. In person, there's nothing like it.
Well, I've seen them. I've seen them up in the high desert by my house. I've gone up to see those races. It's so much fun, man. It's awesome.
The wing sprint cars are it's like one of the fastest things you'll ever see in real life. You're like, holy smokes! I mean, they're just like
those little wing sprinters are amazing.
Yeah. So.
Right. I saw those when I was 10 years old at a little dirt track.
I'm repping my local dirt track that's 3 hours away.
How many dirt trucks you got over there, Cass?
We only have 2. One's in Page, Texas, which is like about an hour and a half, and then this one's in Pleasanton, which is about 2.5 hours away.
Yeah, I think we only have 2 left.
This is the wine and cheese crowd. I mean, like, this is like these people around here. They don't like racing. I mean, we have Coda, but that's. It's the wine and cheese crowd. They like all that wine and cheese stuff.
Yeah, I liked it when I went to the dirt track as a kid. We saw all the modifieds and all that stuff. We just walk around, talk to the guys and the drivers and stuff.
All right.
It was awesome.
So, Ken, I'm going to answer this question the best I can. I haven't done any recent research on oil. This is all probably 10-year-old research that I've done. Whenever you go and you buy a synthetic oil or a blended oil, it means that out of 55 gallons, only a certain amount has to be synthetic. And the Federal Trade Commission actually allows companies to go and put fully synthetic oil on a highly refined base stock oil. So when you see that designation, it says, I think it's just like CF4 or CH4, something like that. Basically, all that is that's a highly refined base stock oil. It's not true synthetic. So you have to do your research to find out what
3rd gen Cobalt power tools.
So if you're looking for a synthetic oil, there's the do's and there's the don'ts. I won't recommend a particular synthetic oil. I'll just say I would never use Pennzoil, Castrol, Valvoline synthetics. I would never use Royal Purple. Those would just be the ones I would stay away from. But after
Royal Purple, my coworker told me, destroys engines.
It's a truly synthetic oil, but the problem is it's a bunch of scrap oils that they put together. So.
You didn't mention one of my favorites, and I was sweating there for a second. With Mobile One, what are your thoughts on Mobile One?
I don't use Mobile One. I use a different company because I think Mobile One is kind of it's a synthetic oil, but I don't think it's the best synthetic oil of all time.
Any of the big brands are not the best oil. If you want to have good oil, you want to have a smaller oil company like Schaefer's or Sempico.
I use BG. So, but
Schaefer, like for example, Schaefer and Sempico is very famous around here. The smaller oil companies, they
roads are tracks.
They run better quality oil. They have more zinc in there, stuff like that. I mean, if you use that kind of oil, for example, all of a sudden I used to run it on tractors, and I used to burn almost a gallon in a week in whatever oil I would put in it, and I switched it to Sempico, and basically didn't burn any oil, and just in the quality of the oil. And
what's the price difference on that smaller brand deal versus like a major brand like Valvoline?
They actually put the right stuff in it, more real, good zinc, additives, stuff like that.
So here's the deal. If you're not driving a ton, it doesn't matter. Your car's I hate to say it's a depreciating investment, but it is an investment. If you get you get out of it what you put into it. So if you want to cheap out and go with cheap, you'll get cheap results. Like if you're going to go and run cheap oil and run it long and stuff like that, it's gonna lead to early demise. But if you're going to use good stuff, like Castrol's a good oil, it's a good base stock oil. I mean, if we're just talking synthetic oils, I have a brand of synthetic oil I like. If I'm going to use a base stock oil, Castrol's a great oil. I love it. It's good stuff. But it just depends. I mean, I was just answering Ken's question on synthetic oil, but once again, it's just like anything else. It's like everybody remember George Carlin. Everybody here knows George Carlin. So George Carlin's theory on politicians: if you put crap in, then you get crap out. Right.
Right.
Same thing with cars.
Well, but that's with anything.
True.
See, this is great information. This is gold stuff.
We do a whole segment on George Carlin alone.
Real quick, right? As soon as you drain that oil and you feel that used oil going through your fingers and it feels watery, you know it's crap. If that used oil comes out and it feels real slick between your fingers, you already know right then and there you got better quality oil.
Well,
all right, Sergio, what kind of diesel are you running? What is it, a Ford or a Dodge? Or GM, I don't know. If you say it's a Chrysler Eco Diesel, I'm gonna get off the live stream. Never.
Well, you guys are tackling that.
Go with the Rotella T6.
Yeah, Brian, that is the Walmart brand.
Super Tech.
What do you guys recommend for oils for Hondas? And do you recommend putting any additives in the engine, like those famous fake additives with the little gears at the front of the shop where you turn the gears?
Not all additives are fake, and a lot of those that you see, like Lucas products, they're good Lucas products. Now you're talking on a newer Honda, it's probably a 0W20 oil.
Yep.
So you got to be careful adding any kind of additive in there, because you got to remember the tolerances inside of the engine are so tight that if an additive is real thick at the beginning of startup, it could block portions of the engine oiling on startup. That would be my advice on that.
Don't waste the money on additives. Spend the money on good quality oil, and then you basically do the same thing.
I've never really put additives in very many things.
So that was my question.
Except for the lawnmower.
What oil do you recommend for Hondas? Is it like the small brand oils that you were mentioning? What oil do you recommend? I'm in Illinois, so I don't know what small brand.
Yeah, so you should be able to get Schaefer's.
Schaefer's?
Yeah.
Or get BG.
Or Sempico.
I think BG is made in Indiana, isn't it, Theo? I gotta look and see. I may be wrong on that. Could be wrong.
I don't know. Those are the two that I'm very familiar with, and like I said, they got really high quality oil. They cost a little more, but it's really good stuff.
And that's I kind of threw questions in there at once. So that was my first one. And I wanted to write those down, so I have them now. And then the other question was, what was your overall thoughts on additives? You mentioned some cast, which does kind of mess up with the the tolerances with engines. You got to be careful. Absolutely.
Look, you're using additives at the end of a car's life expectancy because you're trying to squeeze out a couple of miles. If you take care of the car from start to finish, you don't have to worry about it. I mean, so there are some additives you're going to have to run, right? Like we get into a whole different thing, like your direct inject vehicles. Direct inject vehicles are always going to sit up. They're going to have more deposits. So I recommend there are some additives that I recommend to run in them. You want to do like some upper intake services and stuff like that throughout the life of the vehicle. It's like as a normal service. You don't want to go and just do it at 90,000 miles whenever you've developed a misfire at idle because the valves are not closing all the way. You want to stay on top of that. So there are some things that you'll do just depending on the vehicle. But if you're talking like every oil change, I put this in the oil to increase my, decrease the wear on my car's engine. Let's put good oil in it. Don't just put,
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't waste the money on
it. It just follows that George Carlin theory: crap in, crap out. So,
right.
What about the stuff that people put in their fuel tank? They always say, "Oh, I got to put this stuff in the fuel tank." It's.
There's some good additives out there. There's some bad additives out there. You just have to be smart about it, and you don't use it all the time. It's not like, well, the car smells funny. I think I need to put more additive in it. I mean, just remember, if it's strong enough to clean from the tank to the injectors, it's pretty strong stuff. So.
What about what's that shit called? Seafoam.
Oh man, well, are you my dad? You know, like my dad's like, son, the tire pressure light came on. I put another can of Seafoam in it. You know, like,
You know, Seafoam was made to clean engines on boats, not cars. And people put this
Hey,
on
cleaned my
cars.
Bronco out though.
Yeah, I damaged it all the way through too, bro. Be careful, man. I don't trust Seafoam. I'm scared that it scares the living daylights out of me. I saw a guy use Seafoam on their car, and next day blew his engine. It completely killed his engine. Now we could argue that it was
It's 351. It's bulletproof.
It is very observant. It does look like you're sitting in a porta john.
all right, Joey.
I mean, that's my window in my kitchen.
Joey, I run 15W. I run Rotella 1540 in my skid steer, and everything in my.
He does look like he's in a porta john.
Chain case, engine, hydraulics, all runs 1540 Rotella. I buy it by the 5-gallon bucket, but they don't call it a 5-gallon bucket. They call it a 35-pound bucket. That's what they call it.
Time for me to take my leave.
All right, Mike, man.
All right, Mike.
Dude,
Good seeing you.
Later, man.
You guys have a good night. As you can tell, I need my beauty rest.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see about the topic for next month, man. We'll get on it.
Sounds good. I'll
All
get
right.
something before the end of the month to put on for now.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna figure something, throw something on too. Ken's gonna give us something. I think Ed said he was too. Anthony already has. So
I got something else to send you to, Jude. I just haven't got around to filming it.
cool.
All right, guys, have a great night.
You too.
Good night.
Yeah,
Good night.
Chef Shaytree. I've heard of guys running Marvel Mystery Oil in their
It only works on Chevys for me.
diesels for to make up for the loss of the sulfur content, but I don't run it in mine. So.
Anybody heard of the MOC products? I have not.
Never heard of that. It
Yeah.
usually works for Motorcraft. Yeah, I stick to OEM Motorcraft when I buy electrical components. Pretty much that's what I do with everything, though.
Well, like on the 6.7 on the new Power Strokes, they run a 10W30 diesel oil. That's what they recommend on those.
Stay on that one, Jude. Stay on that one. I have seen this before. It's not the first time I've seen that. What do you guys think about that?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna use it because it's got detergents and stuff in it, you're gonna use it to clean
Lots
it
of
out.
detergents in it. That's the thing about transmission fluid. This is the detergents. That's why they put it in so they can clean up a little bit. And if you're putting 1 quart of transmission fluid in a diesel that takes 15 quarts of oil, I mean, I don't think it's going to hurt it. But I personally don't do that.
I wouldn't. I'm not putting transmission fluid in a Huey system. Not a chance.
Yeah, exactly.
I personally have never done that.
The only thing I did that I used to do in my 7.3s, once in a while, like once a month or something like that, just dump some ATF in the fuel tank.
Yeah, I know a guy who used to use
Sulfur.
all ATF for fuel.
Yeah, because the sulfur levels are so much lower these days in the diesel, it helps the injectors to stay lubricated.
Oh, it keeps them cleaner.
Yeah,
Well, it lubricates the injectors, but
right.
It's mystery oil by the 5-gallon bucket.
That's why I would always laugh when people would talk about come try to sell the additives for the diesel, and they would talk about how putting something in the fuel tank's gonna. Now I agree with what Theo was saying, like on the old 7.3s, but for like the 6.0s and after that,
No,
don't
do that.
Yeah, you don't want to put anything you put in your fuel tank. All it's going to do is help the pattern of the spray that comes out of the injector. I mean, for the 6.0s, I mean, it's the oil that causes the stiction. If you're going to come up with a good additive, you need to put something in the oil to
Yeah, but the 6.0s were designed for the.
Yeah, we used to put lead in stuff too. That was a great lubricant.
The 6.0s were designed for the newer diesel, so that's a whole different ballgame. And here comes the next kicker, right? And just sometimes, once in a while, this one time at band camp, I did use some off-road diesel fuel in my 6.0, and guess what? It plugged it plugged the fuel filter.
Yeah, I was about to say I like running the additive for the to keep the algae, to kill the algae.
Cummins takes 12 quarts of oil.
Yeah, I run it my skid steer. I run was it diesel power source? Isn't that what the fuel additive is to keep the algae from building? I don't run it every day. I don't run my skid steer every day. Though.
Yeah,
you
the
know
anti
what I do to fight any of that is to keep the moisture out. How do you keep the moisture out? Keep the fuel
Keep
tank
it full. Yeah. I do that, but also sometimes it sits for 6-8 weeks before I use it again. It's been too hot lately to run the damn skid steer. I catch the pasture on fire and burn where I keep it down, or where I keep my skid steer at down. That wouldn't be very good.
But that's what I always did. You know, you're parking for a long period of time, fill the fuel tank up.
No, that's what I do with all the cars.
Yeah,
keep the moisture down.
Algae and gel or whatever. Yeah, that's the smartest way to do it. What's up, Brendan?
And if you get algae in the tank, you're going to be screwed anyway. You're going to have to replace the whole fuel system.
Hey, did you see that John Deere I was working on that had all that algae in the tank?
I did not. I did not see it.
Dude, and you're 0 for 2, man. Theo and Cass both asked you if you saw one of their videos. You're like, I did not.
I did not see it. I'm sorry, guys.
I worked on this. So we had this tractor come in, and it was full of algae, right? So we pulled 100% of it down, except for the injectors, and cleaned all the algae because it never made it past the
fuel filter.
Yeah, the second fuel filter.
Yeah.
So.
I'm sorry I didn't watch your videos, guys. I'm busy watching TTS. Trying to catch up.
Oh, weak excuse.
The Theo smoke video was on TTS.
Yeah, I know. I haven't gotten that far yet. I haven't got there yet.
So, Joey, are we going to call Texas New California? Like they have New Mexico, they have New Hampshire. We're going to call it New California.
Oh dear gosh. No, we don't need no more California, man. We need less.
Oh no,
California.
no. We're gonna have New California. That's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna make sure of it.
Oh dear God.
That's where the big city is at. You call that the New California County?
Oh man, I was just on a live show yesterday. I was watching, and they were talking about EV cars and how I'm sure you guys heard today that there's some of the laws that got passed and some of the things that they're doing is they're going to have this infrastructure. They just passed a bill to do all this electric car infrastructure throughout certain states, and government's going to pay for it, right? The infrastructure to keep charging all these cars. And I'm like, who's got 12 hours to sit around every time they need a charge? I'm really not feeling these cars. They're perfect for metropolitan areas, but not anything beyond suburbs and rural. You can't.
Yeah, but those electric cars still leave a large carbon footprint because to make electricity you need either coal or gas or diesel or whatever else kind of energy source to create that.
Yeah, where do they get an electric car fuel from, Ed? Where's that coming from? Are they getting 100%?
What's going on with Boo? What's going on with Boo?
He's got something wrong with his pancreas. What it looks like.
He might have pancreatitis. If he does, that's bad. And I've had that. That is really bad. So I'll definitely keep him in my prayers.
No.
Pray for you. I have some pancreas issues myself.
Oh no.
Tejas may as well be in the New California. Tejas.
Hey, well, Tejas in the Spanish word, that's a.
I don't think anywhere's worse than California.
No, I have to disagree with Sergio on that one. Illinois is rough, but it's not California, bro. We get away with a lot here.
All right,
we have rules for rules.
We're getting off the subject of tools, text, and shop here. Talking about California, Illinois, California.
Let's get back to some kind of tools.
We were talking about EV cars. Okay. And that does affect mechanics, right? I mean, I think.
EV cars are here. If you're gonna want to work on them, you're gonna have to get trained if the companies allow. Now, the companies that are making EV vehicles are really pressing the issue with the Right to Repair Act. They're really teetering on the line of violating that. Now, my opinion on EV cars is if you want to own an EV car, then great. You can own an EV car. You're going to pay EV car prices. I'm going to start training on EV cars in the spring so I can service them. Do I want to service them? No, but am I going to? Yes. So
Now you have your
Are
own.
they offering you a Tesla training also, Cass?
I'm going to have to do this on my own. I'm self-employed now. So
Anthony, you keep talking over everyone, man.
it's all right.
Are you gonna? Well, obviously you have your own shop, but what's your take on providing equipment to work on the EV stuff? You know, the high voltage stuff.
I'm gonna charge for it. I mean, it's, you know what? If doctors and lawyers can charge what they're going to charge, you're going to drive an EV car, you're going to pay the toll. You know what I mean?
Like Anthony, you work with that stuff all day long. Do you have to wear the EV, the high voltage, the?
Oh yes, there's you basically need to wear certain stuff. It's the one time where you're gonna want to follow procedure, where it says
but the whole deal is
disconnect, discharge.
I'm not going to be afraid of, and I'm not going to run from technology. But the other thing is you're going to pay for the service that you're going to get. You know, it's just the way it's going to be. Longer gone are the days that the guy's going to undercut you. You know what? If you can find somebody else to do it cheaper, then go right ahead and take it to them. I don't care. But you know, that's one thing. I mean, Theo's the same way. Theo's not going to bend over backwards to go and do something for less. You know, Anthony's not going to do that. Jude's not going to do that.
When it says dissipate your system for 20, 30 minutes, do it. You're playing around with high voltage capacity. It can kill you.
Let me ask this question because Anthony will know it. In my industry, when we're working on high voltage units, we have to wear special gloves, and you have to inspect them for any holes, and then you got to wear like this leather glove on top, and that way you can't, like, it protects you. It doesn't mean you won't get electrocuted and get burnt up, but you get some protection. Is that what you need to work on some of those batteries for those cars? Because
I don't do 2 layers. I would do 1 layer of a very, very high voltage glove. The problem is they're very, very, very stiff. The difference is you lose dexterity. So when you're trying to reach around and grab and turn a tool, you don't have the dexterity in the tips of your fingers. Now those gloves also do have a expiration date.
Yes.
So what you do is you take a air hose and you plug it in, but you check for leaks.
That's right.
You cannot have if 1 pinhole is in that glove, that electrical charge will go through that glove.
That's right. That's right.
And on
So
top of that,
aren't
they only rated for so many months, like 6 months. You have to update.
Yeah, they should be indicated right here around. They will go past your wrist, like kind of like a gauntlet, like down almost to your elbow. They're pretty beefy gloves.
That's right.
And they're rated at all kinds of different levels. There's cheap ones. Don't buy the $30 ones. Buy the ones that are like $200. Spend the money on the good ones.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
For me, it will be a long time before I see an EV vehicle.
And then there's also the fact of insulated tools you're going to need too.
I'll be dead. It also depends.
The day I retire is the day after I die, so just remember that. Now I could be working on an EV vehicle too, though. You know, it could be the early demise for me. So.
Well, but you know, it also, first of all, it depends on the area. You know, like if you're close to a big city, it will be a whole different ball game. We're out here in the middle of the sticks where there's basically nothing here, and people still drive as of today as a daily driver stuff from 1985. You know,
and here's the deal.
It'll be a long time before I see an EV.
I know there's a lot of folks out there that, you know, that everybody's kind of nervous about what's going on. Our gasoline, diesel powered vehicles going away? No. Right? No. Our EV vehicle's going to take over? No. Are they gonna make you think that they are to scare you into doing this? Yes. I mean, big government's been scaring people into doing stupid things for, you know, hundreds of years. You know, after World War II, we had what was called the Cold War. And, you know, they had everybody to go buy Cold War provisions. People putting bomb shelters in, buying extra stuff, all this other mess. They're just trying to scare you because they profit from it, right? It's no different. So what I would say is if you're worried about it, just give it some time, see what happens. don't go rushing out and buying an EV vehicle because that's what you think you need to do. So.
Amen.
I say don't buy an EV vehicle because the price point is ridiculous. Except for GM products, they're doing it correctly where they're actually affordable. Also depends where you live.
I wouldn't put a date on that, Ken. I wouldn't say that's necessarily true. The only way EV vehicles go away is if we run out of power. Or they stop strip mining lignite out of Wyoming and Texas. Just saying.
Being in the technology field, I learned something a long time ago. Let technology evolve and then get into it. Don't go rushing. Don't be
They invented those vehicles already in the 50s and the 60s. I mean, and they never took off. And right now we're right back to that same push again. And once again, they ain't gonna take off. They will have a place, and that's it.
Yeah, I agree. I just think that I think there's a place for them. A big metropolitan city like New York, Chicago.
Yeah.
I think there's a place for them.
Oh man, Impact Rated has the comment of the night.
It's in the next 5 years. Not if you live in my California, Ken. GM hybrids are affordable because they are trash. What? You don't like the little spark?
I don't. I'm seeing here in the big city a lot of people buying Teslas because they're like Apple phones. They are a statement of status in people's minds for some reason.
Hold on a second, Ed. I have an Apple phone, and I don't use that as a status symbol.
Some people do, man. I'm sorry. I know you don't, but there's people that do, and they'll walk around.
Mine's kind of a couple of years old, though. I just have them because they're like the biggest phone that I can read. I went off of
Hey, this is a good comment right here.
My hand right here.
This is a good comment right here. I don't think EVs are going anywhere, but they won't be an ice killer until you can charge one in the same amount of time you can fill a tank of gas.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, in the end of the day, if they really want to get rid of fossil fuels, putting the fuel in your car is the wrong approach. If you really want to get rid of fossil fuels, you start with your plastics and your nylons and all your clothing, stuff like that. That's where you would start, not with a vehicle. It's the wrong end. So that tells me right then and there, it's a scam.
Then we lose a lot of products and stuff we use every day.
No, but on the end of the day, that's where you create development in plastics if you don't use oil.
Well, Theo, you mentioned how it would affect you being out in the sticks. And Anthony, I think that's going to be a little different for you. I don't even think you can comment too much about how it will affect you. I mean, you're somewhat working that industry. So I guess for Jude and Cass, how do you think this will affect you here in the next 5, 10, 20 years? Cass, you're investing a lot of money.
There's already nobody to work on cars, so I'm not worried about it.
Grimute has a great.
They're going to break, and I'm going to fix them.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's got wheels and it turns. They're still going to need somebody to work on it.
Yeah, just make sure you don't wear any jewelry if you work on an EV.
I don't wear any jewelry to begin with. So.
Well, isn't it?
No feelings, Cass?
What's that?
You don't got no feelings?
No. I've been to the dentist 3 times in my life. I don't wear jewelry because I don't like it, and I only have 3 metal pins in my legs. So
my coworker was working on something. He had a titanium ring on. He went to touch a transformer, and he got hit. I was on the phone with him trying to walk him through it. I'm like, and he got zipped.
I'll let you comment on this one here. This one here, the hydro, I do take that more serious because of the simple fact Cummins already developed several semi-engines for that. They just came out with them.
Didn't Honda have a hydro motor
story
at one point?
Who developed one and he was driving it, and
There's a dude in Canada.
He was mysteriously died, and then his wife and daughter were going, or his ex-wife and daughter were going through his house or something like that, and someone broke in the garage and stole the car and all the plans and something like that. I was just reading about something like that.
That sounds like Hillary Clinton.
Well, all right. We're getting off a text talking shop.
We're getting off a text talking shop.
Back on the.
But yeah, and I agree. Hydro will be more. It will have more of a future than EV.
There are a few guys on TikTok, and I don't know how fake or true it is, but there's quite a few guys on TikTok from different countries all
Hey,
around
Jude,
the
can you go
world
back to that last comment
that are
from
showing that
JD?
they're powering small motorcycles with water. They're using water somehow, and they're showing how they're routing it, and they're producing power. So
because they're separating it down, they're breaking it down into hydrogen. That's what they're doing. So, but you got to remember, hydrogen is super volatile. It's very
Very.
unstable too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
so-
so is gas.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with Tesla.
Oh, the gas fumes are the volatile portion.
Okay, I understand, but on the end of okay, with like I said, Cummins already came out with an engine, with two
Yeah.
engines, with two engines that they want to put in their semis that run on hydrogen, and if
Yeah.
or on hydro. And if you look at that engine on the outside, it has ribs all over it. That thing ain't gonna explode nowhere.
No, I mean, I think like the first hydrogen car they ever made was probably not a good thing. I mean, and then we all go and look at the Hindenburg as another, like hydrogen, explosive. But at the end of the day, they're going to make something better than what we have. Do I think going to mining lithium is the answer? No. Like, do I think running gasoline is the answer? No. But also, there's an answer out there. But instead of rushing and just jumping both feet into every problem, maybe we should take like an analytical approach and go and do some actual real world testing and figure it out. Like you don't buy the first house you see, you're like, oh, looks great, we'll take it. You wanted, you're like, this one's been here for a minute, this one's been here for a minute. Like, what's the water pressure like? Do all the doors open? Just simple things like that.
what tools? What tools are you going to need?
Impact rated. I'm going to go out and limit and say no, probably not.
What's that?
That's just he says he might be off topic, but he's thinking of writing service. Is it still cool to be in the tool community? If I'm not working on cars as a job, I'd appreciate your guys' input. So I'm telling him no.
All right.
I don't
Cool
think
if he's
All right.
What?
Live tonight, tomorrow.
What? What?
so. Huh? No,
I don't understand that comment.
it wasn't a comment. It was a question. He said
I
if
don't
he-
understand the question.
If he becomes a service writer, can he still be in the tool community and be respected? I told him probably not.
what if is he respected by you though, Jude?
Or by me,
It's a step under engineer.
we can start our
You
own
gotta
community.
get your tools up to snap on pens and such.
I have a federated pin I'm using right now.
So to me, that's kind of like, can you own a mechanic business where you now manage a shop of 10 guys or 5 guys or 3 guys? You're not doing the work. Your job is to maintain the shop, the money coming in, the sales, the taxes, and all of that. And you don't have a say in the tool community, or you shouldn't be respected in the tool community. That is silly. That is a really silly question. Because there are different jobs in every industry. And that keeps the world running, keeps the world turning in that industry.
Well, I mean, that's the whole deal. Like with California, like not wanting to have
Yeah, that is the best thing I've read tonight about Tesla.
gasoline vehicles. I mean, like it's not realistic. It's just not going to happen. I mean, you're one of the
Lift
largest,
shifts
the
more than
largest
brake
state by
pads.
population in the nation.
They ship cars with missing frame bolts.
Anthony's so much louder than everybody else in the chat.
He's getting excited. He saw something about Tesla's.
Oh no, it's just because I know it's all true.
My favorite thing about Teslas is when they're parked on the side of the road and the people are like on their phone. They're like,
It's worse when they come up walking up with a gas tank. So, well, let's put some fuel in it.
hey, my favorite thing was that there's that guy on Instagram. He has a green Chevy and he parked in the green car parking. He popped his hood through the charging cord underneath and shut the
So impact rated. I'll tell you this: if you look at if you look at Mancaver, he was in the construction field. He changed jobs because he needed to, and he's still talking about tools, and I think he's still respected pretty well. Look
And
at
I was just teasing Impact Rated. Man, you can do whatever any job you want.
I mean, hell, we let Ed come in here, so
Right. I was just about to
anybody's
say
welcome.
Yeah, he even preaches the fact that a Ridgeline is a truck.
Impact Rated. I'm sure.
Hey,
Come around.
Theo, is it more of a truck than a Ford Lightning?
As long as it has a frame, it's a truck.
What if it
doesn't
doesn't have an
frame,
engine? What if it
it's a
doesn't have an
minivan.
engine? What if it doesn't have an engine?
Then it's not a truck.
Oh, there you go. What the Honda Ridgeline has an engine.
Yeah,
But
but
not
it
a
don't have a
frame.
frame.
But not a frame.
So what is it?
It needs to have a frame. That's where it starts.
Ed, I'm sorry. If you what if he puts like a bed frame in the bed of the Ridgeline? Does that make it?
That's not
does that make
having
it
a frame.
sexy
That's
as
a bed.
frame?
That's a frame in the bed.
What if I take a Honda Ridgeline and lift it and then put a frame and then weld it together and then how about
What if you put a roll bar on it?
Ed, we just buy your real truck at that point. Come on, man. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me.
Listen, I have never said that a Honda Ridgeline is the best truck or a good truck. All I've ever said is that by legality, your state, your insurance, and everybody else in the world views it as a truck, and you hence have to pay the taxes.
That is the biggest baloney I ever heard.
What do you mean?
All of those people also sit down when they go piss. That doesn't make them. That doesn't make them a female.
Oh man. Touche.
Hey man, look, I'm sorry to tell you, bro, but if you buy a Honda Ridgeline, you're gonna pay them truck taxes. And actually, Theo, you should be happy because you should be charging truck fixing prices if a Honda Ridgeline comes to your shop.
You don't see that junk around here, man.
I think Theo has a sign that says no Ridgelines allowed.
So Ken goes, he has to sit down to piss because the doctor told him no heavy lifting. I'd say, well, if you quit eating all the chips, you wouldn't have to pull your gut out of the way to find it, you know?
Oh, Ken, that's awesome. You read Ken's comment? I'm not going to read it out loud, but everybody read it.
Yeah, you said that. I said if he quit eating all the chips, he wouldn't have to pull his gut out of the way to find it.
Oh, Miguel, Brown and M&M's in the house. What's up, Miguel?
The Miguel.
Miguel is the
pure gold, Theo. Pure gold. Oh, Ed, by the way, earlier you asked the question about the more technical stuff and working on stuff on our channels. We are planning on getting there, but Doug put in the chat, and I left it there for a minute, but we never got to it. If you follow him on Instagram, then he's got a really good Instagram showing, all kinds of stuff getting worked on.
Doug, when are you going to do YouTube, bud? I mean, like, you got great
Doug Schmitz.
Yeah, come through over here. Come to the dark side, YouTube.
Chef Shade Tree said, I just about spit my ice cream out on that one, Theo. My side-by-side more of a truck than a Ridgeline. That's awesome.
He ain't lying.
He ain't lying at all. And
it's a Ranchero more of a truck.
I'm going to start winding down, guys, and we got a few more minutes. But I just saw Montebello Mustang in the chat. What's up, Jesse? How you doing?
Hey, I like those impacts that you had posted earlier.
Yeah, he sent us a picture of his home setup, and it's absolutely going up. We've got Chef Shade Tree sent us something.
I guess they're air hammers.
Yeah.
It's an air hammer with extra bits.
With lead.
A few people sent me some a couple weeks ago, and we're going to get all this stuff on the Tech Talking Shop Instagram page. We're going to let everybody know whose setup it is, and if you've got an Instagram, YouTube channel, we're going to promote that channel as well. So please send us your home setups, your work setups. I don't know if you have a utility truck, man, or a service truck. Show us that setup. We'd love to see it, and we'd love to put it on Instagram and you know what? We may even do a short on our channel. Where every still gets like 4 to 6 seconds, so we can put your name and it can roll across. That'd be actually a good idea. You get all the photos. Yeah, you get everybody's photo of whose setup it is, and we run it on Tech Talking.
You got to stand next to you, but you got to stand next to your setup though. You got to show us who you are. You just can't go and take a picture of it. You got to be in the picture with the setup.
Yeah, that'll be cool, man. If you guys want to do it that way too, that'd be an awesome thing to do.
And everybody's got to do this too whenever they're.
Yeah, me and Theo have no problem with that. Theo and I.
But I think Cass is more of a Johnny Cash fan.
Did somebody ask for Johnny?
220. Miguel.
Here's Johnny.
Miguel, 220. So we're winding down, guys. I hate to do it with 36 people still in the chat, but at about 8:15 my time every Sunday, Theo says, "Well, guys, we just hit 2 hours." And we just hit 2 hours. So I'm going to give everyone a chance to say goodbye, man. We'll start with Anthony. Go for it, man.
What's up, Anthony? GM85. I do stuff on my own channel, Anthony GM85. And I throw a lot of random stuff onto Tech Stock and Shop that's sometimes not automotive related, but definitely insightful. So I'll catch you all later.
Ed.
Thank you for subscribing to this channel right here at TTS and supporting all these great mechanic guys and their content. They're all good guys. And if you're not subscribed to them individually, you are absolutely missing out. If you want to see some cool drilling in wood and some pretty pretty basic some pretty basic cool stuff that'll bore you out of your mind, come check out Ed the Old Tech Guy, one of the best channels on YouTube. I'll tell you that right now. We have a cool thing we do on Tuesdays. It's a live show where we have great fun conversations, just joking around about the tool community, tools, products, and such. So come and check us out at edtheoldtechguy.com. I don't have a website yet, but check us out on Facebook. Check us out on YouTube too.
I'll go next. Everyone, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys had a good time. I know we had a lot of fun talking with you guys. We try to stay on point. You know, we lost it a little bit here and there. You guys had some good questions. Keep it up. We're going to try to do one of these once in a while. At least for the rest of this month, we'll probably try to do 2 more. You know, we really don't have a serious topic to give you guys. That we could have some content out there. Watch Tech Talking Shop. It's Theo, Cass, myself, Anthony, Tool Demos, Dave, One Mechanic, the Mad Brooker, and Greasy Monkey. And then 2 participants that don't really participate anymore are Tech Nay and Kentucky Tech. That's all 10 of us. We've had a lot of guest spots before. If you guys are interested in doing a guest spot, let us know on Instagram. Please remember to send us the pictures of your box. Stand in the picture with it. Well, you know, we'd love. I think we had a cool idea. We'll blow it up on Instagram. We'll put you guys in a video on Tech Talking Shop. Thanks for watching, guys. Power Stroke Jude out. Cass. Go ahead, Cass.
Well, what I was going to, Jude, you screwed me on this one. I was kind of hoping you would go last because I was like, hey, everybody, thanks for watching. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Keep on keeping on. This is not Power Stroke Jude. Out.
That's funny.
Okay, you screwed me, Jude. You put me in the second last. Theo, leave this ragged group out of here, sir.
All right. Well, thank you very much for hanging out. Please like and subscribe to Tech Talking Shop right there, and to all these fine people here. And we're going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace out.